on the southbound Harvard Freeway, picking up any location.
I know you've been waiting. So have I. It is time for us to give you another show from the beautiful Crime Trio. It is Friday off the coast of California, and we are in a TV network. All right, you got to get ready for this. I know you've been asking me to bring them on, and they are here. But what you got to do is you got to buy the book, people. You got to buy the book. You get to meet the authors, but more importantly, you get to understand why they do what they do. You want to be a part of this? Be a part of the show. Now you're thinking to yourself, when are they coming on? That'll be right about now, but I got to get the tubes ready, cranking up the machine, making sure I got everything ready. Yeah, I'm dragging it out. Okay. Get your questions ready. I know you are ready for Deborah, Pat, and Wendy. So, without further ado, as the expression goes, let's bring them in. Deborah, I know you're out there ready to get going, aren't you?
So ready.
And let's see who else we got here. Let's bring this down a little bit. I think Pat's out there as well.
I'm here. I'd rather be like taking a nap, but I love being here with you.
Oh, man. You know, Pat, you came on and you started so much trouble. I don't know what to say. Deborah came on and people were like, oh, she must be the quiet one. But I think we really need to bring Wendy in because Wendy is the stabilizer between you three. Is that how that works?
Well,
I don't know. Sorry, I'm a good multitasker, so I'm taking a nap and I'm on the podcast.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. What did you just mean by that? Just kind of.
I don't know. I thought it might sound funny.
No, it did. It did sound funny. It did.
I laughed.
Hey,
They don't all work. They don't all work.
Everything about you works, Wendy. That's why you have a W. So
Thanks.
Everything with Wendy
W
works.
for winner.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Wendy needs a frame.
Wendy needs a. Whoa, they trying to box you in. Wendy.
Pat has this cool teal and yellow one. I've got pink and purple. Wendy needs a frame around her head.
Well, you know everything.
Or she
Hopefully not a guillotine.
stands out for being Wendy.
There you go. There you go.
You could put a halo over my head. You could put a halo.
Okay, there we go.
Just give an idea. Just give an idea.
Or a crown. Or a
And
crown.
wings.
Yeah.
Angel wings.
Angel wings. That would mean I'm probably passed on, so maybe we should hold the angel
We
wings.
should hold that. Hey, what are you trying to do, Deborah? What are you trying to?
A few months.
Trying to get rid of her. Okay, so I tried to put her in a box. I really did, so that all three of you would have a box. There's only
Life
one
has put
problem.
me in a box. Life has put me in a box.
Baby can't be
I'm
put in a
always
box.
going to break out of the box, so whatever. That's okay.
What is the last thing you've done to try to break out of a box, Pat?
Oh my God, I don't know when I've actually tried to be in the box. So everything I just break out of the box because I think boxes are just bullshit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there goes the family show moniker. Just
Well, my
less than
kids.
12 seconds
Pat,
into-
how many times do we tell you it's a family show?
we
I
keep
know,
trying to
but
give
I
you
am
an
a mom
intervention.
who has a kid, and I kind of like my family values maybe a little bit different than
No. You have
fine.
your values are the values that are valuable to you. I value that statement. So anyhow, Deborah, what's on your mind?
I like thinking and writing about what's in a box.
Oh,
In fact-
that's what a plug.
In fact,
Yes.
I sometimes call boxes crates and write about
Ooh.
them.
Man, that's pretty
All
good.
right, that's very good.
That's pretty
Very good segue. A+ for segue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her book is so fantastic that people have to buy that.
I have a premonition about this show.
What is it?
Oh my
I want to know what is it?
We are just letting it rip tonight.
Wait, what did you
What's the
have for
premonition?
breakfast?
I believe in all this stuff, so go ahead.
And
I'm
I
gonna
am
do
my
what I was
father's daughter.
told.
There you go. There's a to your right. To your right. The other right. Yeah. And up. Just
I only have one right.
go right.
This is a New York right.
That's a New York. There you go. There, perfect.
Stage
that
right.
looks fantastic. Stage right. Exit stage
So
left.
Deb, what
Stage
is
left.
your premonition?
Was that Snagglepuss?
Yes, that was Snagglepuss. I try to bring him in every now and then with the show. So she said, "What was your premonition?
Yeah,
was your
just like
premonition leading to a daughter and her father?"
Or a
Oh,
I just thought I'd throw that in there. Just kind of.
Oh, I like that.
Trying to.
I have a premonition that we're going to talk about true crime for all the book lovers out there.
That's
And my
very.
question
That's very
is, what's
possible.
true, what's
Just
not
keep going. I want to see if I got something for everything you say, and if not, I'm just gonna pull it up if I have time to do it. I'm gonna see if I can keep pace with you guys. Okay. So what else?
What else? So the other thing is, I don't think anybody is going to recognize us from those photos because I'm looking at them and our hair is different from all the
Okay,
pictures
so
we've
it
used.
is great, so that's all we have to care about,
Okay.
right?
So is that the three of you back there? Is that the
No.
three of you?
No, that's AI. That's
Okay.
our AI version.
Just checking. I don't think that was the three of you, but hey, I was gonna go with it. So how about
I
this
could
one?
have lied.
Look at this one. This one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
She
that
says
was.
it's big and it's coming at you like. it's like
That's
she
an
said,
alien
Why is
head.
it so big?
No, but Deb is always beautiful. I mean, she's got that charisma, and she's very, very photogenic, and yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
because
Look
I've
at
never
the
seen
love in the room, man.
I just want to do a Brady Bunch thing now. Dun,
Oh,
dun,
hey, we can
Da-da-da.
make that happen. We can make that happen. So you just keep
I was
doing
teaching a
stuff.
high school class not that a few months ago, and nobody knew what the Brady Bunch was. And it made me
Wow.
so
That's
sad.
sad.
Man, talk about
Another
fun.
American gem kicked to the curb.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all right. I told
Oh,
somebody
my nose.
Dick Van Dyke, and they had no
I'm
idea.
just going to
what
do
I was
that
talking about.
sporadically through this whole
yeah.
show. Oh, my nose.
Oh no. So what's
And
on your
nobody
mind?
will know what I'm talking about.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, we get it. I don't know. Do I have a rim shot for that? No, that's not a rim shot. All right, just changed my voice. Didn't mean to do that. So, I got a rim shot. That's not a rim shot. That's not it either. That's not either. That's not
You
it
call it a
either.
rim shot?
Yeah. There we
What
go.
does that even mean? You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but you and all these like young people with all these fancy
Young,
things.
she goes young
Like,
people.
what the hell does all this mean? I don't know.
So,
You mean we missed? Is that what you're telling us? We just missed?
I don't know what I think she's just getting on her soapbox for a moment. Just go. Come
No,
on.
I live on a soapbox. Most people tune me out, but I'm,
You live in a soapbox.
Oh yeah, everybody that is close to me will say that. Right, I live on a soapbox.
You live on a soapbox.
Yes.
You always have something that's an opinion you have to share.
Oh yes, even if and I may change that opinion, like after I am very emphatic about it, but that's me.
Okay, so what
I'm
is?
very, very sure about all the things that I may be wrong about.
I want to know your opinion on what I'm going to ask this question of Deborah. Deborah, talk to me about themes in books and stuff and things and
Yay.
themes and stuff, and then
Oh,
I want
that's my
everyone's
favorite
opinion
subject.
on whatever you're going to talk about. So go
How
ahead.
did you know I wanted to
Run
talk
with
about
it
books?
You had a
Because
premonition.
This is a
Yeah,
book podcast. There you go.
premonition.
It was a book podcast, and Wendy and Pat told me you're full of themes.
I am. And if we didn't talk about it, there would be some retribution.
Oh my
likely.
goodness!
Oh, yes.
Most
Yeah.
likely there would be.
Okay, premonition, retribution.
Retribution.
Amazing
That's
books.
right.
You need to buy.
And there'll be a
Buy
lot of
them now.
there'll be a lot of daughters that would be really
Buy
hurt
them
by
now.
that, and their fathers. So that was a cue for her to pull up her book, but she didn't.
It
pull
was.
It up.
It was.
All
Pat-
right.
Pat did-
Here they come.
and
Here they
I
come.
was gonna say out of a crate and and away from snakes.
We need like
Is anybody catching these plugs that we're
eerie
trying to do?
movie, eerie music when we do this.
I believe me, I can work that out for you. That's easy.
And I
Okay.
gotta tell everybody,
I'm gonna
if-
get some.
You know, I know that everybody, Father's Day is coming up next week, and every father
Ooh.
you know will love these books,
That's such a true thing.
including my book that's like her father's daughter. But all these books would be great presents for the father.
That's great.
Yeah, no, my husband read, Wendy and Deb. My husband read all your books and loved them. So
Oh, did he? Oh, that's very nice.
Wow. Did he leave a review?
they're all
So he's
pretty
only
good.
worth it if he
Yeah.
leaves a review. He has to leave a review for it to really
Have to
count.
leave a review.
Yeah.
It's all
Authors
about
love
the stars.
reviews.
It's all about the stars.
But he actually read your books and said, "Hey, these are really good." Because
Well, that's
I
nice.
give him
Nice
a lot of
feedback.
books to read, and
Nice
he's like,
feedback.
Yay.
Nice feedback.
So when it comes to themes for the ninth time, we're gonna go back down that road again, boys and girls.
Okay.
What
All right,
what
let's
kind
get
of-
serious.
What kind of themes are there for books and the books you have? How did you come up with those themes? That sounded like some strange person. Go right ahead.
Is that supposed to be my voice? Okay. Well, I'll jump in and
No, you
I'll
got radio- all three of you have radio voices. You got great radio voices. So go ahead.
I'll start like a Howard Cosell voice. I think I just dated myself again.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
You just lost over half of the audience.
No, I take it back.
Howard
I take it back.
Before there was Stephen Smith, it was Howard
the
Cosell.
other
Yeah.
half is what counts.
Wow, Howard
Last
Cosell,
century.
man.
Sorry.
And I
Okay.
always thought you were 39 like Jack Benny. You just totally went 72. So
I'm 80 years old with plastic
80 years
surgery.
old. Man, wow.
Okay, themes of books. I'll start. I'll jump in. Let me tell you.
When are you gonna start? When are you gonna start?
Okay, I'm gonna start. So this one. The Crate is my first book, and it is a true crime story. It's
Wait,
nonfiction.
Hold that up one more time. Hold that book up one more time. If you can do that for me, just hold on 1 second. Just hold that up there. Just keep it held up there.
It's a story that will keep you up at
Every
night.
book comes with music. There you go. Welcome to the Bobbing Head Show on books. Thank you.
Can I
boys
put
and
it down?
We need one of those
Yes, you
bouncy
can.
balls. Maybe I'm making
Okay,
myself
I
bad.
can
Those
work,
have
I
gone
can work
away
that out
already.
too. I'll get one for you. Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead. You
So that's very happy music to be talking about this book. This book's not so happy, actually.
Believe me,
So
I'm
no,
fine.
this
Go
this
ahead.
book is kind of heavy. So The Crate, as I mentioned, is a true crime story, and it's nonfiction, and it's about a murder that involved my family. And in terms of themes, it intertwines my family's Holocaust stories. So it's a book about murder in the present and the Holocaust. Evil in the past meets evil in the present. And the themes, clearly anti-Semitism and hatred and racism are one of the themes. And then in a broader sense, it's about all the evil that man is capable of, which is interesting because then that sort of carries over into the second book, which is this one. Do I have to do the thing again?
No. You just go ahead and do that. I'm
With the
finding your
music?
scary music. No. No bouncing snakes.
No bouncing.
snakes. No.
So that theme of violence and evil and what man is capable of perpetrating, that theme carries over into the second book as well. And the second book is about physical and sexual abuse at a fictitious Connecticut private school. And the book is also based on true crimes. It's fiction, a novel, but it's based on true crime. And both books also have this sort of theme running through them about dredging up painful memories and about how trauma from the past affects us decades later, and how even the next generation can be affected by trauma from the past, from someone's past. And then we have the theme of, you guys can jump in and talk about your stuff. Well, okay, I'll finish this one.
Deb, we're interested. It's
Okay, so here's another theme.
This is a one moment.
At night.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are the books I love. So
you're doing fantastic, as they would say.
Fantastic. Okay, so then I have another theme, and that is fate. And so I ask all these questions, was it the fate of 6 million people to die in the Holocaust? And was it the fate of my parents to survive? And was it the fate of one young woman and young mother to end up murdered and hidden away in a wooden crate? And was it my fate as a professional writer who always wanted to write a book, who always wanted to be an author? Was it my fate to write these stories about these people? So, in both of these books, I feel like I have a chance to sort of shine a light on these social issues, like I said, like anti-Semitism, but also domestic violence and physical and sexual abuse of minors. So, happy stuff. Uplifting, happy stuff.
Anybody want to chime in on themes in the theme of your books? Because I thought that was pretty good. I want to dissect some of it, but unless somebody want to jump in, I love the aspect of trauma, though. But hey, go right ahead.
Pat, what were you going to say?
Are you going to see me? No, I think that, Deb's themes are really like, what's great about her book is like, as a creative writing teacher, I work with a lot of students, and when you're writing things that are based on what really happened, it's very hard often for people to kind of put you into the scene and the experience, and Deb does that extremely well. It's beautifully written, but it's hardcore, and it's the kind of book that I'm very, I got a hard exterior. Nothing really penetrates, but when I read her books, I was up for a few nights, couldn't sleep. But that's a good thing, and that's what most of us as authors want, to write something that has that much an emotional impact on people. My theme in terms of my book is really about everybody talks about family secrets, but it's really about how far will the love of a daughter go for their father? How much will you protect the people you loved? And at what extent will you go and the fantasy you'll believe, because you have to hold on to that in order to just be who you are. Okay, Wendy, your turn.
My turn? Well, I sort of recently labeled myself the accidental author because I never, I started writing after I'd had my TV career for 20 years, and I never necessarily thought I would write a book or not write a book. And one person I worked with is the one who encouraged me to do it. And if not for her, I don't know if I ever would have actually sat down and done it. She was pretty relentless. But I thank you, Anna. You're the greatest. And I think, so when I wrote my first book, I think it was all therapy for me for my 20 years of covering crime, because we saw such horrific cases that there's no way to even get into how bad they were. So I think
Crime TV. Let the audience know.
Oh, Core TV, and HLN,
and Nancy Grace,
and yes. CNN. So I think when I wrote the first book, as I've mentioned many times, I wove a bunch of true cases throughout the book to give it a touch of realism, and it was my way of calling attention to a few cases. I did with 20 cases, but there were two of them specifically. The murder of Shannon Christian and Christopher Newsom in Knoxville, which was just beyond horrific, and the Carr brothers murders in Wichita, Kansas. So those are the two I always felt never got the attention they deserved from the media, and they were just horrific cases, and people who live in this country have no clue what's going on. Which it's really, to me, in addition to paying homage to the victims and making sure they don't get forgotten, people should be aware of what they can encounter. Now, obviously, it's a small percent of people who end up getting murdered, but it's always, not always, sometimes it's targeted, but in general, I guess I'm getting a little off the topic, but it can be very random. And even though it's rare, anyone could stumble upon the wrong person and be targeted by some lunatic and all of that. But I think I created a story and a plot with a serial killer and based the protagonist on myself being fearful of women. The whole story is based around a woman who always thought she'd be murdered, and then that's why she went into covering crime and blah, blah, blah. So I think that was, so if that, you consider that a theme, but I think the theme of the book is to sort of show the dark side of people and how your life can be upended, and so the unexpected, before you know it, you're in a position where you can't get out of it. And I think so, and I did put a lot of safety tips from cases, because we used to, every time a case ended, we would look and think, what could they have done in retrospect to save themselves? And sometimes there is nothing. And sometimes if you really think on your feet, or, it's hard when you're in the moment. I can't even imagine being in situations some of these victims have been in. But there are some clear-cut safety tips that I tried to put in the book, which I thought were interesting. And Inside Baseball, also things that happen behind the scene, even in well-known cases that people never heard about, that are really quirky, weird facts. I don't want to give them away because it's like an interesting part of the book. And all of that, so calling attention to certain cases. So I guess for me, the theme was weaving all that stuff into a fictitious crime thriller that I grew from all my years of, is my time up? All my years of covering crime. And I think so in that regard, it was very therapeutic for me.
Do you believe that all people have like a dark side?
I mean, all people, literally. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know. I think people are complicated, and I think it's not so much if all people have a dark side, it's whether you control your dark side. I think the difference is with pedophiles, like Samantha Runyon, if people remember that case, that awful case, that little girl in California, her mother at the sentencing, Erin Runyon, was just beyond. And she just looked at the killer and said, you were so selfish that all he thought about was his sick needs, not what he was doing to a young girl like that, a 4-year-old, whatever she was. So I think the difference, I'm not saying everyone has that amount of evil or sickness in them, but I think with a lot of people, the difference can be whether they act on it or not, or whether they get a grip and say, I have this crazy thought, but I would never actually do that to somebody, whereas the ones who cross the line and say, screw it, I'll do it. I don't care. I'm doing what I want to do. And I think a lot of serial killers and a lot of the really sick people we covered and are just pure evil, and they get off on hurting other people, and it makes them feel powerful, and they just don't care about anybody.
Yeah.
But themselves.
It's interesting. When I was finished writing the first book, The Crate, and ready to start having my agent pitch it out to publishers, so I had to write a pretty lengthy proposal. So a nonfiction proposal, in case you don't know, is much more involved than a fiction, submission. Yep. But like my proposal was practically a book in itself. But interestingly, I did find out that most true crime readers are women. Yeah. And Wendy, exactly like you said, they're reading these stories so they'll know what not to do in certain situations.
Yeah. Or what to do to protect themselves.
Yeah.
What to
That's
avoid.
A good point. Yeah. So I hope when people read, particularly, I did it more in the first book, Premonition, that they pick that up, because I made a point of doing it. Not hitting you over the head, but I made a point of doing it.
No, and you did it really well. So
Mm-hmm.
All right, where are we now?
Yeah.
Did our
Did Paxton fall asleep? Did we
our hostess disappear?
I didn't see the thing going like that. I was getting.
You can multitask. I can multitask. I'm just letting you know that
Paxton's
right now.
making dinner.
Ooh, that smells good. That smells
I'm
good.
making dinner. Chop, chop. I'm making. No, I'm not.
Wait, isn't it Friday night? Isn't that pizza night?
It's
Pizza night.
Oh my goodness! Where do you guys come up with these things that I'm over
Are you
here doing?
making
Out of thin air. We make them up like we make up our books.
Like bubbles out of the air. So anyhow, the next thing that I am curious to know about is, when it comes to certain matters, when it comes to a book, could someone enlighten us into the matters when it comes to a book? Who would want to do that? Would that be Lady
Okay,
Dunn.
what matters? Okay, just say. All right, repeat the question. What did you say?
Probably, you know what? I believe that Deborah could probably repeat it quite well.
Are you asking what mattered to us most when we were writing our books?
I believe
that
that's
what you're
Everybody,
going.
everybody, this is
All
a
right, so
live
this is-
show.
okay.
This
I
is
can't-
Is that
live.
supposed to be my purview?
Yeah, Wendy.
My?
Well, I mean, who do you want to
And
answer?
Thank you for
That
thank you
was-
for correcting me. I was making pizzas.
That
My
was
hands were full
supposed
of
to
All
dough.
right, you're falling
I
asleep
couldn't
at the
move.
kept us
I couldn't
going,
move my
right?
papers over here. I was finding music for your book. Wait, go ahead.
And I'm
So,
gonna
what
keep
you doing,
not
Wendy?
that great if you're not paying attention to that, but that's okay.
Wendy, go
The
right
reason you're
ahead.
not on screen tonight, God only knows what's going on.
I know.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second. First of all, the reason I'm not on the screen because I don't have makeup on. I just want.
I don't
you to
have
know that.
makeup on. I don't have makeup on.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
have
You
makeup
feel
on.
me? You feel me?
Yes.
It's just gonna.
Here.
Look,
I'm,
Lord,
over,
you
I'm
don't
doing.
need-
go.
I'm
I
doing
don't have
things
makeup
over
on.
here. I'm doing things
don't
over
need
here.
makeup,
You'll
Jack.
find out in a minute. I'm doing things over here. You'll. Hey.
never
That's not my
doubted
shade.
you. We
That's not
never
my
doubted
shade. That's not my shade. But go right ahead. So anyhow, you were saying before. Just now, everybody gets to watch me work while I'm doing stuff
Thank
for your
God.
show. Just keep. Just
Where's the
wait. Hold on a
pizza?
second. Okay.
We
all
don't
right,
see any
so-
pizza.
No pizza. No.
Just for
No.
future reference, I like eggplant. I believe Debbie likes pineapple, and I don't know what Pat's preference is.
Pat, what's your preference, Pat?
Pineapple. Okay, you know what?
Is that terrible? I do
Pat,
like
just-
pineapple.
I have a big problem with pineapple pizza.
Pat, tell us
Don't
your
get me wrong,
preference
the
before
best
you
pizza
slam
in the
pineapple.
world,
Tell us
don't
the
get me wrong,
yes.
And pineapple pizza was like an insult to everybody on the East Coast. But
Can you tell us what you like first?
a couple of years ago, I tried it's pineapple pizza, and it's actually pretty good.
Oh my goodness!
I'm
Look
a
at you.
purist. I like plain. I just want the cheese and the sauce. The key to
That's
great
okay.
pizza is the crust and the sauce.
I agree.
Yes.
Thin crust.
Okay.
Thin crust, exactly, and well done.
Wendy, what do you have to say about? I see you nodding your head, but what do you got to say
I'm
about
an
this pizza
eggplant
discussion?
person.
You're an eggplant
I
person.
like eggplant.
Eggplant pizza is the best.
Eggplant
That's
pizza.
pretty okay, but pineapple is a little bit out there, but it actually could be very good depending on your mood.
Okay.
I was in Ecuador
You know-
several times, and they put pineapple on all their pizza. A lot of ham and pineapple, but they sneak the pineapple in, and I had a very navigating that. Was
Okay.
not
So
good.
ham on a pizza. What do you think about that, Deborah and Pat? I like that.
You know, I have to say I'm a purist like Pat. I do like plain cheese.
You're a purist.
And here in Connecticut, we
Oh, my
are
Lord.
blessed with
All
New
right,
Haven
Oh,
pizza.
We are blessed with New Haven pizza.
All right, whoa, because we have New Haven pizza, but then you have the Pepe's versus the what's the other one? Sally's, and then you have the hardcore. Oh, I hate New Haven pizza. I only want the pizza that's like Brooklyn and yeah, it's pizza's very serious in
It's
Connecticut.
divisive,
Oh
Yes.
my goodness!
Okay.
In Connecticut? Oh, real seriously?
modern.
So
No
what
one,
about
no one takes Connecticut seriously, but
I
we're
know.
pretty on it.
they take
No,
they take the
that's
college
not.
basketball team really serious? UConn.
too.
So there you go.
No, we
So-
take a lot of stuff seriously.
You-
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a great
so-
state. I never thought I'd say that growing up in New York, but
Yeah.
it is a great.
What
state.
do you guys think of Emmy Squared? I think it's really unique and very good.
Which one?
Emmy Squared, that pizza
I don't even know it.
in Connecticut, there are a few of them.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
works. I think it
I've
does
had
work.
Well,
It's sort of unique.
Italian is that? It's
But I have to do a shout out because you're in California.
We're losing advertisers.
I did like-
just
I
from
like
this.
bar.
We're losing-
Hail Mary Pizza in LA is literally magic, and I don't know what they do. I've never tasted anything like it in my life. It is worth a plane flight out there, and I stuck some on the plane going home, and I covered it up because I was afraid everybody would riot if they knew it was a Hail Mary.
So I
Hail,
gotta- yeah,
Hail
that's- I
Mary
guess I'll
Pizza.
share
Never
it.
Hail
heard of
Mary.
it. Where is
Hail
it?
Mary.
Yeah,
It's near Griffith Park.
Oh, all right.
I'll find
There's
it.
only one location. It's
Okay,
near Griffith
all right.
Park.
So I lived
Cool.
in LA for many years, and
Check it
there
out.
was, right near in Santa Monica, there was a place called Mario's Pizza, and I went to the place, and it was the same Mario that
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
same place he had in the
Yeah.
Bronx, and I'm like, I bought a slice, and I was like, Mario, what's going on? And he's like, it's the water.
See, this is
Wow.
why
It's the
I
water.
think I put so much
The water,
food.
the water is very, very. It's hard
Salt
water.
water, hot water. Yeah.
I digress to a book comment. I think this is part of the reason I put so much food detail in my first book, because I'm so food obsessed that it just automatically started happening, much as our podcast is derailing into food.
I did the same thing, Wend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
my
hard.
food was Hungarian.
Ooh, well, that's a little.
A lot of Hungarian
wow.
food in
Little
my
more
book.
But that's the one
No
common
pizza.
denominator. We need food to live. So
We need
everybody
food
has
to live.
that. Yes.
But it's
And we need
also a
something to live
bridge.
for. We need something
It's a
to live
bridge, it
for.
is.
Food is to live for.
Yeah. You know what I loved? I loved when people commented to me after they read it, after they read The Crate, that either they wanted to try some of the foods that I wrote about. So I put a bunch of recipes on my website. Or I also loved, my favorite thing about the reaction to the book is that there were so many commonalities that people talked to me about, like, just the whole immigrant experience to America, and the feeling of being a stranger in a strange land, and that was another theme, by the way. I loved hearing from readers. It's the whole community of book lovers is just so cool and so much fun to be part of. So I love hearing from people.
So what a perfect thing to have this podcast that you ladies are doing then.
Yeah,
It would be even more perfect if we had pizza.
Well, I think we could work that out
Right,
since we were just talking about other things before the show that we could do. So stay tuned, everyone. But you
That would
gotta
be
have
cute if
have a book.
next time we each are eating our individual. We have to get individual pizzas though, because one for each
No,
of us.
and actually,
Yes.
my new
Some
book,
people an 8-inch is an individual pizza.
and I'm working on a
pizza.
book right now that actually has pizza is a big part of it.
Really
Oh.
interesting.
Oh, I want to do a
That's
Hail
all you're
Mary.
gonna tell us? No, go
Hey,
ahead.
Paxton, when we come out to LA, we're doing
Yeah.
a Hail Mary
Yes.
marathon.
Yes.
The
And
marathon,
I'm
whole
curious
marathon. I
if people
like
think
that.
I'm correct. If people think I'm correct, because it is magic. That's the only word. to
So you'll
describe.
have to have a pizza. I'll have to have a pizza. My daughters will get two pizza. That's 4 pizzas right there. And of course, because Deborah's such a star where she is, she don't have time to come out to California. But if she came, we would have a pizza for her. And then of course, Pat, you come out. You're not gonna have a pizza. You're gonna give me yours, so I'll have 2, and you just
No,
watch
I
us
want
eat
a
it.
pizza, but if it's,
Just watch us
but I'm
eat
going to open my
Just
mouth
teasing,
at that if it's not the right. Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have to keep your hands off me, Hail Mary
My
pizza.
niece never steers me wrong. So if she says
What is the? I have to ask a
I
question.
want to know if all these
Okay.
people are giving us a commission for mentioning them. This
Well, first
Hail
of all,
Mary.
we're gonna talk
person.
about that when this show is over. You're like, we're gonna have to discuss
Hail
this.
Mary full of grace.
Hail Mary just got 300 orders, and they
Yeah,
don't
that's
understand
right.
what
You
happened.
got that right. That's right. We're gonna have to discuss this sponsorship from these pizza places, so that they're gonna sponsor your podcast show. Okay, so hey, there you go. Start looking for pizza sponsors, foodie sponsors. That are going to sponsor segments on your show. All right, there you go. Let's talk about when times are tough, or is it tough sometimes? The tough word. So, who wants to take that one and talk to the audience about
I'm fine with talking about
that?
that.
Pat, Lady
It's
Dunn.
funny that you said sometimes. I not only as a writer, and I also teach. I've been teaching for 20 years, and most of what I do, and anybody I know that teaches, or my co-teachers do, is to try to get people out of their own heads and not to overthink things, because the writers are the worst people to make any decisions about their book. So it's hard. So I think that they talk about the Hemingways and all that. I don't even know if some of the audience even knows who Hemingway is, but you don't have to suffer. And I really believe that if you actually can find a writing community where you can share your work, it makes it much easier, because writing it's sometimes it'll feel great and it's like this high, and other days, and most days, it'll feel like horrible. But when I was writing Her Father's Daughter, the only thing that saved me was, I hate to say this because I don't want to actually act like I'm talking about COVID as a good thing, but because of COVID, I was able to lock myself up in a room, and my happy place was writing about a serial killer and getting in his head. And that's what worked for me. But, when we're down as writers, the only thing that's going to help us is to connect to a community of writers, because, none of us as humans are meant to be solo or alone.
That's a really good point.
And I would say, can I chime in?
Yeah, of course.
In addition to a pound bag of peanut M&Ms. What kept me going, not to
Okay,
the
well, let's talk about that part. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I also,
we
when I
need to
took
get
the,
that
when I took the
sponsorship.
bar, I ate more peanut M&Ms than a small country could possibly consume in a day. But that's just another aside. That was not a pleasant experience. Anyway, so I just lost my thought. Sorry.
It helped you. It helped you in your writing when it
Oh,
times,
what
when
kept me
times are
going?
tough.
What kept me going? Because it wasn't. I never had writer's block, but I always doubted. Like, is this book going to sell? Is this? Is that? All the negative stuff you can come up with. What kept me going was that my intent of writing these books was really to pay tribute to the murder victims we covered over the years, and I dedicated the second book to three murder victims, and that is what kept me going. Because otherwise, I'm not sure I would have continued to do this. But I felt that no one, their stories just weren't being told, and even though if someone just read the second book's much more of a thriller. It picks up from the first book, but it makes the story it's much more of a thriller, and the twists and turns and figuring out the plot and all that. So people, if they didn't realize that, I might not pick up on that. But even though I wrote like a sort of a thriller, and my intent every day when I sat down, I was sort of like did this to the victims and made sure, and that's what my whole career was about.
But that's the key. I mean, for us as authors, and when we're writing, we have to be very clear about why we are writing a story and what matters. And Wendy, what you just said is what kept you going, and it's true. Like in the end, we want to know, like, okay, what do we want our audience to take away from? What do we want that message to be shared?
And I think, like I've mentioned in some other interviews, I'm also Jewish, and I think I grew up watching nothing but Holocaust documentaries, and I think that's like the biggest murder thing, and I think that's what started my fascination with murder, because that's like the ultimate murder. Then it became local New York cases I remember seeing as a kid and hearing about it. And I really do feel that's how that made my connection, that built my connection to being fearful of being murdered, and then also obsessed about it, and ending up in a career covering it. So if a therapist was analyzing this, I do think there were specific things that led me to this. It didn't just happen, Yeah.
It didn't just pop up.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Your main character, she's fearful of, like, she's always believes that she's going to die, right?
Well, she always was obsessed with that she was going to get murdered. What?
That's a fear that you had?
I had it for a very long time. I think I started to grow out of it. I think working at Court TV actually helped. I think I grew out of it in maybe my mid to late 20s, I think.
Wow.
It was probably at the worst when I was in my late teens. And of course, there were certain cases like the two I mentioned that we covered at Court TV that I couldn't sleep for months. We were covering them. I would hear the tiniest noise at night. I couldn't sleep. Like, I mean, we it's not that we screened things before we put them on the air, but we saw a lot more than the audience saw.
Yeah.
And got involved with the families and all of that. And, it is like a trauma. And, you doing that for 20 years in and out, it really, we never got a break from it, and we didn't want to get a break. We wanted to show the cases, and to me, it was all about, if we're not going to show them, who's going to show them? And I mentioned this in other interviews that families would call up, especially during the car trial. There were 5 victims, and they were all in their 20s, and it was just the most awful case. And the parents would call up relatives and say, "Can you use this picture instead of this picture?" And it mattered to them. So sure, like, I didn't care whatever stupid journalistic ethics, supposedly, whatever. If anything, any tiny little thing that would make them feel the slightest bit better, they have gone to hell. Yeah. And there is no such thing as closure if you have a relative murdered and you know how they suffered and what their ending was, their life was stolen from them. There is no closure. Is such a stupid word. I can't stand listening to it. You can close a bank account, I guess. You can't close a murder out of your life. So I think. That's all.
Wendy,
Deb, with your book too, it's just very,
I mean, Wendy, you've said so many things that I thought about and that I made a conscious effort, as you said, to honor the victims and to preserve the stories. Right. When I was confronted with the discovery of this murder in my family, those first few days were really all about me. How does this affect me and my immediate family? My kids, my parents, my brother, who was the primary murder suspect, by the way. But it was a few days. I think it was probably until we got the results of the autopsy that showed okay, there was actually a victim here, a young woman, a young mother. I think it was really only at that point that I started thinking of the story, as having a victim and a family of a victim who was grieving, and then started thinking, okay, I could actually be her voice. Clearly, here's a woman who no longer has a voice to tell her own story.
How are you able to actually, because people experience a lot of traumas, and it's very hard for people to even talk, never mind write about it. I mean, how did you feel like you could separate yourself enough to actually write the story?
I'm not sure that I did separate myself from the story.
Okay.
It's written as a memoir. It's written in the first person. And I did my best to honor her by telling her backstory, her life story that her mother and her sister told me. Mm-hmm. And by the same token, I really wanted to preserve my parents' Holocaust stories, their experiences. And I didn't really even realize how much I wanted to tell those stories until I started writing the book. It had never even occurred to me, in my entire life, that these were stories that I should actually write, that should be told. But, in the process of writing about this crime, I realized that for the reader to really understand the impact that the crime had on my family, they had to know my family history. And my family history is a Holocaust history. Yeah. My parents lost their entire families. So yeah, Wendy, everything you said, it's exactly how I felt. I wanted to preserve the stories and honor the victims. And when going got tough, that's what I thought. That was my ultimate goal. And also to be an author. I wanted, to put a book out and to be a published author. And to make it a good product, because here we are, we actually have products that we're selling to consumers. And so I wanted it to be a good product, as good as I could make it.
Oh, you did a great job.
That's what, I think that's what we think about as writers, as we're writing, we just want to make a good product that people will enjoy and that will resonate with people.
Yeah.
What part of putting that book together was the weightiest part? Maybe 1, 2, and 3. What were some weighty parts as you put your book together, Deborah, on you emotionally? What was weighty on you emotionally?
Well, so to tell you the truth, I didn't even know the details of what my parents had experienced until I started actively writing and listening to their testimonies. So back in the late 90s, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Steven Spielberg started a foundation, the Steven Spielberg Holocaust Foundation, that he sort of conceived of it when he was filming Schindler's List. I think he had this realization when he was filming that had he been born a few decades earlier, he would have been a victim of the Holocaust. He could very well have been one of the people in the camps that he was writing a movie about and filming a movie about. And so he started this foundation, and the goal was to collect testimony from as many survivors and witnesses as possible. And I think he ended up with something like 50 or 60,000 videotape testimonies, and he archived them. And so back in the late 90s, when the project really got going, it seemed like all my parents' friends had decided to give their videotape testimonies. So I grew up in Toronto. My parents were very social, but almost all their friends were also Holocaust survivors, Hungarian Holocaust survivors.
Oh, wow.
And so they, sort of were going one after the other to give their testimonies. And these were, hours long. This was not like a 5 or 10 minute thing. This was hours of videotape. And it wasn't until I actually watched my parents' videotapes that I started to hear all the details. And so that's what I put into my book, the first book.
Hard to watch your parents tell their
Very
side
hard.
of the story. And tell
Very
technically
hard.
Technically, not just their side of their story, but literally this was the lineage that they were passing on, the pain that they experienced.
Yeah.
They were
Well,
actually
that's
saying
the key
human
word
history,
there.
world human history is what they were doing. It wasn't just like some people do, they just get up and just tell a video. They were really telling human history at one of its darkest moments.
Yeah, they
And that's
were,
interesting.
and
Oh.
it was the pain of what they experienced and the pain of the loss that they really tried to shield my brother and me from.
Okay.
And that was really the big takeaway watching their videos of how much pain they were in.
And
Wendy-
just to interject, I think our last show, I mentioned that we at Court TV, the first thing I worked on when I was there in 1995, in addition to the OJ trial, I came in the middle of the first OJ trial, was the Nuremberg, the 50-year anniversary of the Nuremberg trials, and we went to DC and matched audio to still pictures because they wouldn't let them take moving pictures, and it was just an amazing project. That was Spielberg did the introduction for us. The woman who was out there on OJ, we sent her to Spielberg's house. That's when he was living in California, and she had interviewed him, and he did the intro for it. So that was in '95, which is around the same time as his Shoah project. So I think that's sort of interesting. Just a little side note: when he opened the door, he said to her, "I'm not giving you anything till you tell me what happened to Betty Broderick." And Betty Broderick, she was our first really wacky woman who killed her husband and his girlfriend. So we just thought that was funny. He was a big Court TV fan, or I guess
Really?
Yeah.
Spielberg.
So it was,
I can believe that. Yeah.
Interesting. Connection between both of you.
It's funny how
Deborah
things
and
connect.
Wendy,
It's just
Debbie and Wendy,
funny
without
how
ever meeting each other at that time.
it is
Amazing.
funny, right? That's sort of funny, yeah.
Quite unique. Yeah. But that's a pain that touched the entire planet. So it's something that many generations will find out about. And Deborah, you're
Hopefully.
a part of that. Yeah.
Hopefully they will, because
you won't know it if nobody talks about it, right?
well, no,
mean,
it's
sadly,
true.
they-
People got to keep talking
when
about
they
it.
There's not nearly enough Holocaust education in the
When they
United
told
States.
kids under 30, an astonishing number had never heard of the Holocaust. It's not that they're Holocaust deniers; they never heard of it. I
Right.
don't know how
They
they
weren't
teach
taught
them.
about it. They didn't
Oh,
know what
there's a-
Auschwitz
yeah, there's
was.
a
They
lot
had
that
no
don't-
It is
idea that
getting
6
lost.
million Jews were
It
murdered.
is getting lost.
It's getting lost. It's also getting rewritten.
Well, that's
But that's a different subject. But Connecticut is only one of, I think, 17 states that mandate Holocaust education.
Yes,
and
they do.
is-
Connecticut does.
that is very upsetting to be, 17, only 17 states. So it's a shame. We're losing our history.
You ladies are amazing. I'm thinking about before the show started, and just discussing the show and what you're doing tonight and talking about your books. But look how much you shared of your perspective of the world and of life and what you've experienced. And now we know that around the 90s, mid 90s, both of you were being exposed to the similar subject, Wendy and Debbie. You were going to say, Deborah?
Well, I mean, really, it wasn't the mid 90s. I mean, this is something I've lived with every day of my life.
That's true.
You
but
know,
in
I
the
have
aspect
to
of
say,
moving
it was
forward,
funny.
No, I get you. But in the process of eventually becoming where we are right now in this stream of time, for both of you to be sitting here, passionate about those subjects, yes, a part of your heritage, a part of your culture, and you're speaking about the pain that you've seen, as Wendy did, as well as experience on an ongoing basis. And yeah, respectfully so, you're absolutely correct what you just mentioned. I find it fascinating about both of you that you speak about this matter with such dignity. And it's something that people that I've come in contact with, my family have met and known that have gone through it, and their relatives have gone through it. I find so many that have experienced it speak with such dignity, not only about the family members, but the way they see what they went through and how they were able to make families move forward despite the pain that they would go to bed at night or wake up with. So I find it truly encouraging that you continue to feel free to talk about it. And that aspect, when you're here on our platform, there's so many that have been affected by it in an unjust an ungodly way to treat a human being. So I appreciate both of you for saying that. Pat, I just have to say, today's show, if many of you who will get the chance to see this, I'm going to take this moment to say this, since they made me put the camera on. I was going to not, show myself today. But I wanted to say, the three of you have made a big impact on our audience, individually with your individual shows, as well as collectively.
Yeah, thank you.
And they want you here, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you to your audience. They're very, very smart people.
She's so humble. So I just every time. But is there something? Now I'm going to torture you, because I let you do the theme, the matters, and the tough. So we went through those. So now it's my turn. I want to say, hold on one second here. I just want to say, I was trying not to cry, so I just got a message. So I was trying not to cry, because we have some family and friends that not immediate family, but adoptive family that have members that went through the Holocaust, and we've studied it quite well. But anyhow, I want to say this: there are questions that I have for each one of you, and there is no way that I'm going to be able to do that today, that I've saved from previous shows. So we're going to get to them next time.
Okay.
But we are going to continue to have this Crime Trio podcast for everyone. I am officially saying that to you so you can stop asking me and writing me, because I have other things to do than answer everybody's message. And you guys, viewers, you followers, you guys have been with me for a while, and my daughters in putting this together. I love each and every one of you, but we have to keep churning out shows as we put them on for YouTube. So we give you this free TV. So I want you to know what you're going to expect when you see these three women together. These beautiful people are going to tell you, yes, the sides of who they are, but they need your support in making sure you buy the book. So everybody, hold on. We're not going to get to the questions and some other things I wanted to do today, but I've been busy while you're talking, putting some things together. So just bear with me. I'm going to do a few things, and this is for our subscribers, but this is also for the viewers that pass through. I want everyone to take a look at the screen, and if you, of course, the majority of you listen to the show, feel free to check this out later. I'm going to put something up. So here we go. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to start with Wendy. Everyone, please take a look at the screen. I am asking you to show your support for our guests. I know you've often seen me put posts up in the community section and other ways, support our guests. I am literally live asking you to purchase her books. You will not be wasting your time to add this to your library, but it's very important that you pick up both of the copies of her books, and feel free to make it a part of your book club. A number of you are book lovers, so feel free to make sure you do that. And please also do me a favor to take a look at Her Father's Daughter. I need you to pick up a copy of that. There's a reason why, and I'll tell you that in just a moment. Please make sure, now I've given her the name Lady Dunn. There's a reason why. You can come back for the next show and I'll tell you, but I already said in the last one. If you missed that one, go back and take a listen to it. But there's a reason why I gave her the name Lady Dunn. And you'll find out more if you keep coming back. You won't be wasting your time on a Friday to come and listen to this podcast or view it. Make sure you get Her Father's Daughter. Make sure you pick up a copy of that. Now, there's two more books. One of them really scares me. So there's two books here, because I don't like snakes. But there's two books here. I'm gonna.
It's not about snakes.
Why you messing up? I was doing something here. So I'm gonna do it first now. So make sure you grab a copy of this now. It's not about snakes. And I really was looking for a sound of a snake. I was gonna do it, but I stopped.
It is right. Okay.
Next time I'm gonna put it in there. Make sure you get Debbie's book, a Nest of Snakes. It's not about snakes, everybody. Okay, so if you don't like snakes, it's not about snakes. But there's some snaky, slimy people that are talked about in the book. Slimy. Okay, all right. Now, the other book from Debbie is The Crate. So make sure you pick up that book. The best way to describe this book from my perspective is that you should not, matter of fact, none of these, you shouldn't read with the lights off. Okay?
Yeah.
Make sure you have the lights on, because it really deals, these books, the perspective of someone who does not care about human beings. And there are, I like the way Wendy said it from the very first time you came on, Wendy. There's some tips and tools in here that you need to keep in mind when you're dealing with the public and people, and not taking everything at face value, even if they are an authority figure or something like that. And I'm not going to give nothing away. I hope I'm not giving nothing away. So please keep that in mind. This trio will be back. If you're wondering whether I'm calling the show to quits, I am in a way, because they've given me so many ideas and I put some things together to close the show out. I wanted to spend this time with them. We're going to get back together, all of us, and we're going to talk some more about some things we want to do. But I have a few questions before you go, and they had no idea I was going to do this, you guys. So I was saving it for the end, and then put my camera on and do it. So here we are. We've gone 56 minutes on this podcast. This is a live podcast. If you've never experienced anything like this on YouTube, you can find us, NATV Network, New Attitude TV. You can find us in the live section on YouTube, where you will see live shows like this. And you, of course, can find us on YouTube's podcast section. You will find us there too. And this particular show, which is, well, it is the show that belongs to these three beautiful ladies on our network. But now I get to torture them. So I go over here.
Bring it on.
And you know what? You did that last time when you and I did show you. And I had some questions that I saved. And I'm still going to save them for you. I'm not going to give them today. So I hope everybody's ready. The three of you.
Long walks on the beach.
So what is wrong with you? Why are
Puppies.
you trying to jump ahead of me? The puppies. That's really good. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Dead
good.
puppies. Go ahead.
So, all right, here we go. Some questions on the way out today, everybody. And let's see here. We're going to do, before we get to the questions, I went through and pulled up some music for each one of your books when you hold them up. So we're going to take turns here, everybody. We're going to go with Pat. You're going to hold on a second. Let me see who's first. Okay, so Deborah's first. Deborah, Pat, and then Wendy, you're last. So I picked 3 songs while you ladies were talking. So here we go. Deborah, hold your books up one at a time, and then hold them up both together. And remember, you said that blank spot, so you got to put it in front of your face there.
In front of your face.
I can always count on Pat to make sure that all the instructions are followed
This is
properly.
hard. You have to be athletic to do this.
Oh my goodness! There you go.
There.
Okay, hold that right there. Just hold that right there. I'm going to do that. We're going to do that, and then here we go. It's not about snakes. I just want to clarify that. Okay, so now, Pat, you're next, Pat. Okay, you have a book there, right, somewhere?
No, I don't.
Oh my goodness!
Right
You see what you did, Deborah?
Oh,
You
my
told her.
copy.
Wait, do you have a
Yeah.
copy?
Yeah.
Does you?
I'm looking. It's
Teamwork. No?
upstairs.
It's okay. Not
Anyway,
there.
you
Okay.
don't need to-
So wait, here we go. No, I got you covered. Listen, I'm doing stuff during the show. People, don't think I'm not. Here we go. Okay. Gonna do that, and
Okay.
here we go. We're gonna go back over here. We're gonna do that, and here we go. I can see you, Pat. I got a thumbs up from Pat. You guys didn't see it.
Don't go into the basement. Love it.
It's good. Oh man, I was trying not to give anything away there. Okay, all right. Now that we've done that, it is now time for Wendy to hold up her book, and I'm going to do some shifting around here. Yes, this is live, everybody. This is exactly what YouTube told us they want from us. So we're giving them live, unpolished television as we go right here, and I hit that button like that. Make sure you pick up a copy of each one of these books. 2 books in front of you right now.
You don't have to read them.
Two books right in front of you. And like Pat always says, you don't have to read them. You just got to buy them and support the author. Send it to someone as a gift. Give it to your boss so he will know you need a raise.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you're sending them a signal, but you want to. That's premonition, and if you need something closer, I think I got something for you here.
And like Pat said, Father's Day is coming up.
Make sure you let your
Father's Day present. cousins.
I like
all
the
over.
I like the boss one. Make sure your boss knows. Give him a copy and say, I'm not trying to say I want to raise, but just
I'm
keep
not
this in
saying I'm
mind.
going to kill you, boss.
Look
but,
at you.
know,
I knew Pat would say it. I knew Pat would say
Teacher appreciation.
it. Teacher
Ooh.
appreciation.
I'm
oh my
not going to
goodness.
say I'm going to kill you, teacher.
Can I put this down?
No, I just want to let you stay like that. Just for the no. Just, yes, please go ahead. Please put them
No,
down.
you know
Yes,
what?
that's
The whole world. I mean, this
All
country
right.
where it's banning books and all that stuff. People just need to buy books. And
Are you
read
trying to
them.
get cancel
Buy
culture after me?
books.
Why are you trying to start trouble? Buy
I'm
books.
not
All right.
doing any political
Just-
things. I
I'm just
think that
teasing.
these
Okay,
books
here
are
we go.
simple.
I hope you're ready. I got to put my eyeballs on. Here we go. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to ask you questions. Everybody's going to get a turn. And nothing is meant to be embarrassing or anything like that. But hey, if you start crying, I have no control over that. All right, here we go. Now, first question. This goes to everyone. Okay? First question. When it comes to the love of your life, name 3 things that you could put in that category as things that would be a part of the love of your things that you really, really love, that you would like your fans and your new fans from tonight and future fans to know that you love, that will literally be on the internet forever. You're going to say 3 things that you literally love or consider to be the very loves of your life. Okay? 3 things. Everybody's going to get a chance to go around for number 1. We're going to swing back around for number 2, and then we're going to complete it with number 3. So,
Wait,
Deborah's
so we're
go-
saying a characteristic of the love of our life,
No,
or
no,
3
this
different
is-
loves
This
of
is
our
always
life?
the fun. Everybody that's listening to this is when I deal with authors, they always do that to me. So are you saying
Semantics.
they're gonna go? You know what? Just go with my ghetto language. I just said name 3 loves of your life. I never
3
said the
loves.
word, the C word. That's too big of a word
Okay.
from the ghetto character. No, I'm just kidding. So 3 loves of
3
your
loves.
life. Okay.
Got it.
Everybody's got more than one. Everybody's like, there's things that you love. The top 3 things that you just, oh my goodness, it makes just, yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Deborah is first.
Well, I mean, it's cliche, but writing, because we're doing a book podcast. True crime, book lovers.
Okay.
I love book lovers. They're the love of my
Okay,
life.
So we just go ahead. Okay, so your number 1 in just a word or whatever is what?
Books.
Books. Okay, sorry. See, okay,
Wait, I mean, okay, like besides
Are
my
you seriously
back.
gonna wait?
well, besides husband and family, because that's like a given.
Time out. Just time out
Kids.
for a second. Can we just get one? Now you know why she went first. Does everybody understand why she went first? Because if we went last, we'd never finish. So
Well, there are some givens here, so
Can
we
you-
don't
can-
have to explain them, right?
can you just name so we got books, right? Is it
Books.
books? Okay, books. Okay, so books. Okay, all right. Wendy, you're second.
I'll say dogs.
Okay, so dogs.
That was going to be my second.
And
I didn't figure that much.
so Pat.
You know, okay, Wendy, I knew was going to say this, but my rescue dog, Blanky.
Okay, so Blanky, correct?
Yeah, rescue dogs. I mean, she.
Blanky.
Oh.
All right. So that's number 1. Here we go. We put this over here. Now, number 2. Number 2 question. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Not number 2 question. You got number 2. Okay, name the second thing. I'm sorry. Yes, the second thing
Come
that
on, get
is
together.
your. Well, no, she threw me off. Which, she made me actually think of other words. So anyhow, it's all my fault. So the second thing, love of your life.
Traveling. Just came back from Greece.
Wow,
it was
yes,
magical.
you did. That's
That was
right.
gonna
I
be
was
my
gonna
second one.
Yeah.
travel. Well, so your second one, it can still be the
Are
same.
we,
whatever you want.
allowed to? do
You
that?
Traveling with my
You
dogs.
It is not a competition.
boy.
Just whatever is the love of your life. So what was it? What do you want to say, Wendy?
I'll say traveling as well.
Okay, so traveling as well. This will all make sense when we're done. Just hold on that thought. So go right ahead. Your second on your list of things that are the love of your life, you just really love, Pat, is
Having coffee with friends.
what was that?
Sitting with friends and having coffee.
So your friends?
Yeah, but not just friends. Sorry for all
Okay.
the writer,
No, it's-
writer friends.
You're
Shoot, Pat. Guys, I was going to say coffee third.
I was gonna say, oh my goodness.
Me too.
You guys are definitely a part of a trio. You guys are so connected. Okay, so there we go. That's number 2. We got those done. All right, now the third thing that's the love of your life is Deborah.
Memories and nostalgia, I'm going to say.
Okay, so we go with, if it's okay with you, nostalgia, right?
Nostalgia. Very nostalgic.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Second for you, Wendy?
I guess I'll say, no, this is the third, right?
Excuse me, third. I'm sorry.
I
Yes,
did, I
correct.
did dogs, traveling, and I'll say food.
Okay, so food. Food. All right. And Pat?
My current partner, because I don't marry for money, I marry for editing skills. So yes, people that are very close to me that are editors, and I have to say, yeah, Alan is probably the third. Yeah.
So we're going to go with Alan.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now my husband's going to be like, Pat said her.
No, but Alan, because he's edits. So if your husband doesn't edit your work, that's okay.
Okay, now
It's really
I just want you to know at this moment I have 3 cards in front of me with 3 different expressions of things that are valuable to you. You get to have one do-over that we can scratch out and put something else in.
No.
Now,
It's like a bad game.
Deborah, you get to take out something and put something or someone else in. What do I take out? Yours was, let me just say for the audience,
take
if people are
out
listening-
Wendy's
wait,
dogs
hold on.
and put in.
Hold on a second. Let me just say before you keep going, because people are listening. So people are listening and they're exercising, with the kids. So you said books, traveling, and nostalgia. You're a nostalgic person. Which one of those would you want to take out and tell me which one you want me to put in?
Okay, take out travel and put in family.
That sounded so painful.
Ah,
That
Wait,
sounded
did you-
so
this is painfully bad. This is painful.
So go ahead.
Put in
Go ahead.
family. Ugh, I don't want to get in trouble
So
later.
take
Put in
out-
family.
Take out traveling.
Yeah.
Is that right? Correct? I'm going to do that, right?
Sure.
Well, hold on a second. Let me make sure I do it properly. Let me grab the big red one. So we take that one
Whoa.
out. We're going to scratch that one out like that. And then we're going to put in family, capital letters, because that's important. Okay, now, Wendy, which one would you like to take out or leave it the same?
I have dogs, travel, and food, right?
You have dogs, traveling, and food. That is correct.
I think I'll leave it as is.
Okay, so
You didn't give me an option to leave it. You said I had to take out one.
It's true.
we can
I
take
got
it.
a word limit one time.
We can
so
fix.
we're each
We
gonna
can,
get-
we can fix this real quick. We can take your family out. You want to take your family out for traveling? No, you brought it up. You brought it. We can take your family out.
No, leave the freaking
We'll take your
family.
family out. We take your family
Leave
out.
the freaking family in. Yes. The freaking family.
All right, you know what I'll do? Take out food and put in binging really good Turkish shows.
Okay, there we
Oh,
go.
all right,
So
yay.
we take
It
it
doesn't
out.
have to be Turkish, but I am
No,
fond
but
of
I've
it.
been watching a lot of them too. Yeah, great.
Oh my God, Black Money! I can't even
Yes.
begin. Black Money Love
Wow.
and this and that. and
Turkish?
all.
Yay, I didn't.
You're the
Yes.
best.
Turkish
You can
movies
see
and television, or Turkish just
Mostly, yeah,
Turkish entertainment.
binging Turkish shows.
Turkish?
Huh. How about
Entertainment.
K-dramas?
Well, those are
Yes, they're wonderful too. So just don't put nationality, just binging good shows. Binging good foreign shows.
I just want to say, do you want to change? Are you
A
only
bunch
get
of good
one
Spanish
change?
ones too. What?
Do we want to? Do you
Jose
want to have a change
Coronado.
of mind again, Deborah? You want to take your family out? I'm just going to ask one time before we
Thinking.
move on to
No.
Pat.
Okay,
No,
take
leave-
out family, put in K-dramas.
Like K dramas, family.
You guys are awful. Okay, so now
We're the worst.
Pat,
We're the worst.
you're
I'm
Pat.
not
You're
changing anything I said. I don't remember what I said, but I'm
Blanky,
to it.
your writing friends, and Alan. Blanky.
Okay, Alan's kind of not too far from me, so he can hear me. So, maybe. Yeah. So, and I need him to edit something that I just wrote. I can't mess with any of that, and I'm not going to mess with the dog because rescue dogs are amazing, and Wendy's inspiring
Okay.
with the work she does. So I'm going to leave it. What was? Oh, my writing friends.
Blanky, writing friends, and Alan. Blanky, writing friends, and Alan.
and having coffee. No, I'm leaving it alone. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I will take out the writing friends, and I'll replace it with the crime trio because working with Deb and Wendy has been such a great blessing in my life.
It sort of puts Deb
Damn
in
it!
this-
Come on!
Family.
There's my family again.
You're doing,
I love these two.
I see what you're doing.
So easy to go.
None of us will be on speaking terms by the time this is over.
I know.
You guys are great.
Okay, so we're extinguishing writing friends. Writing friends.
It's very specific.
Wait, we are writing friends. You could keep
Yeah,
it.
that's what I mean, but specific.
And she said specifically Crime Trio.
Yes.
Damn. Okay,
Wow.
take out nostalgia.
She's how competitive, very competitive with each other.
Make up your mind. Okay, so here we go. Words a woman often hears, make up your mind. Okay, here we go. So, here we go. You ready? Ready? Look at Deborah's laughing. Put that in your book. This rude podcaster said this about women. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read it back to you what we got so far. Okay? This is what we got. This is enough right here. I don't even have to do any other cards. This is enough right here. All right, so here we go. So when it comes to the three of you, there are 6 elements that make you who you are based upon what you said, but there are other parts of you that we're not discussing now. For example, Deborah leaving her husband out. So what we're going to say, and her children. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But what I was going to say is, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, and especially if your husband's watching this now or later. Dude, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Get kicked to the curb like that. But what I was going to say is, nice trip, though, that you paid for. But what I was going to say is, here we go. I'm just messing with you. All right, she's mad at me. So when it comes to books, your family, and nostalgia, when it comes to dogs, traveling, and Turkish entertainment, but more importantly, when it comes to Blanky, the Crime Trio family, and Alan, you feel complete when you're with each other or away from each other.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I've learned a lot about you that's what's important to you, that these things are important to you. But can you add one more thing that is not on here so that you can have a great weekend? Did you want to add one more thing on here? And Wendy, you get to go first. Which
Just gonna
that's the thing about Pat. I don't even have to. I got to get the question in quick because Pat is like. So Wendy, add one more thing on here that will let your fans and future fans know more about you. But more importantly, everybody, I'm just going to do this real quick before you answer. Everybody, please make sure. Everybody, hold your thought for a second. Just hold on. Make sure you pick up the book from the Crime Trio and make sure you listen to their podcast because it's the best thing you could do for yourself. All right, go ahead, Wendy.
Okay, I'll say one more thing is that the 15 years I spent at Core TV were incredibly special years. I'll say that.
Okay, so one more thing is Court TV.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Correct?
Yeah.
All right. And everybody, if you guys hang on, because, what are you going to do? This is free TV, everybody. So what's the point of going to go watch cable right now? You can't get this on cable. This is it. Get the book. Watch this on cable. Become friends with these people. And it's the best thing you could ever have happen to you. Okay, so Court TV. Pat, what do you want to add? One more thing, Pat.
Okay, by 25 years of teaching aspiring writers.
Okay, so succinctly and very concisely, you're going to say teaching writers? Is that okay?
Guiding aspiring writers, yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, that leaves you, my dear friend Deborah. I know your husband loves you so much, he's not going to take this personal that you left him out. But would you like to add one more thing?
He's not going to know I'm doing this podcast.
Yeah, I want you to know. You have no idea. I'm sending him a copy. But anyhow, what were you going to say?
He's already been tagged in everything.
Yeah.
He's already been tagged. That's right. That's right. Go ahead. And your children. They're not talking to you for like 2 weeks. But go ahead.
Okay, I actually did think of something that I absolutely love, which is to be out on the water. Love to be on a boat, any kind of boat.
Yeah, I thought she was going to say me, Pat. Anyway, but that's okay.
Well, out on the water with the Crime Trio.
Okay, yes.
I like the way you rebound. That's nice rebound. That's pretty good.
No,
but that's not
sailing,
what you
canoeing, motorboating.
Okay, so motorboating.
That's actually very cool. Yeah.
That's not a bad
Kayaking.
idea. I also love that too. Very good idea. Any Sea-Doo in the future, anything Wave Runner, that's good. All right, that's good. Okay, so this is what I've come to understand about you. Hopefully you who are, here was the camera. Hopefully you who are watching and listening to this free TV on YouTube, you're coming to understand that motorboating, boating. Motorboarding. I'm talking
Waterboarding?
I know. I was gonna say waterboarding. I don't know where waterboarding came from. I don't have no idea. Listening to you guys so much, it popped in my head. I got the words. Also,
miscommunication.
motor. Yeah, we're still talking torture. No,
No, that's what I meant.
Okay, now you're scaring me. Motorboard. That's why you're in the basement. Motorboating, and also, teaching writers as well as court TV. So, when it comes to motorboating, when it comes to teaching writers and court TV, what similarities can you find between those three? Motorboating, teaching, inspiring writers, and court TV.
Everybody's looking for that beacon.
What was that again? Nice and slow?
Everybody needs the beacon. They're looking for that like one point that they can focus on and get there.
Nice.
Well, we covered a drunk boating case, if that helps.
I'm curious.
Drunk boating. There are a lot of drunk boaters out there. They kill people.
Oh, I know.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
dangerous.
Yes.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, living by a lake for a long time, I can say that's absolutely correct. That does happen.
Yeah. A lot of decapitations.
Deborah, you go to. Deborah, sometimes you say stuff. I expect Wendy to say it, and you say it.
She's channeling me.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, all right. So these are a number of things about you. I have one more thing to say, but go ahead. So I'll end the show on the thing I was going to say, but go ahead. You're going to say.
With the common denominator,
Deborah.
it's thrilling. All of these things are thrilling.
Look at that. Look at you. Very good.
Very good.
Very good. You know what? I needed to test this whole word association thing a little bit because I have some other things. It's actually sitting over there. You guys will find out. I have a stack of stuff for you that's word association related to your book and other things. But I needed elements of.
In like psychology.
I needed a little bit about your personal life to add to them. And now the next time we do a show, please everyone, come back, and you're going to get a treat because I'm going to mash all this stuff together, and they have no idea. And I'll be doing it at the end of each one of their podcast shows. But I needed this information today. So now I have this. I have 2 more cards left. We're not going to do them because this is more than enough to mix with the other things that I have. And we're going to have a really great time, boys and girls. All right. So
maybe one day we can do ink blots.
Oh yeah,
hey, that's no.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, a lot, Wendy. A lot could possibly. With these 2, Wendy, you and I are in the safe zone. These 2, I don't know about. But we could do it with pizzas. We could just hold up pizzas and use them as ink blots and say, "What does it look like to you?" No, bad way. Bad idea.
Political and
bad idea.
Pizza is too political to touch. Okay.
Pizza is too.
It's very political.
Well, you talked about Connecticut pizza. Right? You said Connecticut pizza?
But in Connecticut, there's like...
What are the people in Chicago going to say about you saying that? Or New York?
That's what I'm saying. You can't talk about pizza without getting...
Pizza could become a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
You get into a fight, huh?
No, I have people in my family that have like basically almost gotten to fist fights over pizza.
Wow, that says a lot about your family. It's a wonder you didn't mention pizza as the number one thing. It's kind of like leaving out your husband or something like that. Nobody would do that.
Yep.
It's a given.
You just lumped it in the family. That was pretty good.
Yeah, you in the West Coast, so get pizza because you don't have any.
That's not, over here is not really pizza. You do understand that to a certain degree. I mean, I don't know. Wait, Wendy, you said there's a place we got to go to, right?
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
We gonna take pictures. We may just do a show right in front of it. We just gonna, you guys come out here.
Hashtag Hail Mary.
If we all end up in LA, we're going to Hail Mary for dinner.
Done deal. Consider it a done deal.
I was going to Hail Mary when I was in Catholic catechism, so I can tell you the whole story. What
did you learn about yourself when you? Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I know you just mentioned one thing. This is a poor segue because I had another question, so it has nothing to do with what you just said. What do you learn about yourself when you eat pizza?
How tight my jeans are?
I know I can ask certain questions and somebody will give a Carol Burnett moment and say something really weird.
Exactly.
I don't know. What do you?
No, what my values? If
Your
I'm
values?
still holding on to the Bronx pizza, my family and my heritage, or am I giving over to the Connecticut like Pepe's?
Sound like she's at a confession or something.
Yeah,
I'll
it is.
say it makes me.
I'm
It
not
makes
Catholic, I was raised Catholic, so
it
yeah.
makes me realize how much I like food when I eat Hail Mary pizza. Specifically.
Okay. Other than that,
Now I'm almost.
I got it. It makes me realize how much I love my family when I get to share pizza with them.
Yes, and
That
Deb,
was very spontaneous.
that's way up here. That's way up here. Oh my goodness. Hey, you know what? They might let you get out of the basement and stay upstairs. You keep talking like that. They're gonna leave her down there. She didn't even make us
I
number
think
one.
I just heard the door get locked. I think I heard the bolt.
Hey, is another book coming after that the answer you gave, man. Because you literally had an opportunity to say your husband 3 times, and you literally you said books.
I said it's a given.
But you know what?
Man.
Sometimes when there's so much love between two people, they don't need to talk about it.
Hey, you know
right.
what? That's why you guys are the
right.
trio. You got each other's back. That was really good. That was really good. He's not gonna buy it, but that
you.
was really good.
Oh,
That was really good. He's not gonna buy it. She's sleeping on the couch. What do
To show my love, I untagged him. I just untagged him in the video.
Okay, good. Yay, Wendy. Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So, ladies, we appreciate it. I am going to end the show, which means I don't expect you ladies to hang around after the fact, but I'm gonna do a little promo work on your books on the way out. You can sit there and watch me torture you by doing it, and the show's gonna end real quick. This is not gonna take forever. Everybody, we appreciate. Listen, everybody, please. If you come to NATV Network, most of you already know this. The majority of you do. For the newcomers, we sell products here by introducing you to the people who make them, and the authors, people telling their story, and a number of other things. So, and we make podcast shows for people. If they join the channel, we make a podcast show for them for $5.99. We'll produce and direct it. You'll get this, exactly what you experience now. Your experience will be beneficial, but more importantly, please show your support for our guests and the members of our channel, because they have products and they have tools that will further your life. Go ahead, say it again. Say it again, Pat.
You need to be able to afford to buy pizza.
I am going to
So
find.
by T.M. Dunn's Her Father's Daughter and Wendy Whitman's Premonition and Retribution.
And Deborah.
For Father's Day.
Deborah, you didn't say anything about your
Deborah.
Deborah.
Come on, the crate. Come on.
Yes.
Why did that get so weird just then? Did that get weird with everyone?
What?
It froze. The whole thing froze
no,
into
it
a weird
froze.
thing.
No,
Well,
Wendy.
I
think it was
anybody
only
that buys
you.
anything
Just kidding.
Oh,
No,
man.
just
No,
kidding.
like I'm not saying this to be nice.
You
but
untag somebody and see what happened.
He's
he's getting retribution.
I want you to know that Deborah Wendy's books are like,
All right.
they're amazing.
Hey, we went 1 hour and 23 minutes, and that's a piece of cake for us. We can do that anytime, and I guarantee you,
pizza.
many of you had a good time watching us, and you're gonna watch this back.
Okay.
I love you guys. I really do. You guys are great
Love
together.
you too.
All three of you.
And
Okay.
yes, Pat
We'll
said
see you.
thank
Okay.
you. And
Now, I am going to play what we played at the beginning, and then the show is over. So if you missed it and you joined, I noticed that some of you have come in and joined the show now. And as I often say, and many of you know, we started with 0, but we always try to get 10 people to watch our live shows, and it always works out well. And thank you for everyone that's been here. But I need you to please, well, I can't say put the pizza down. That's my thing I normally say. On this show, pick up the pizza and a few more and have a book party with these books. Please send it to somebody that you don't like or your boss, but make sure you give a copy to someone that you like as well. And make sure you give them a lamp and the book. Okay.
Hey, can I put something
books
out
go
there?
Okay. Hey, you can put.
If,
hey, it's your
if
show.
any
Go ahead.
readers decide to read our books in a book club, I'm happy speaking for Pat and Wendy and me, but we'll come to a book club. We'll join you
baby.
virtually.
I love it. I gotta do that. That is just like I've had a lot of authors I've dealt with. That's the first time an author said that. I've had a lot of authors on this platform. Thank you for saying. I'm sorry, I gotta do it again. There is no way you could turn that down. How could you possibly turn that down? Book Lovers Podcast. This is the International Book Lovers Podcast. This is the Crime Trio podcast here. Appreciate you doing that. Hey, everybody. We're going to be back next week, NATV Network at some point. But right now, we're going to be in the lab with these ladies over the next few weeks, hopefully, and we're going to get together with some shows for you, just like this one. Won't put you to sleep. Enough of me talking. See you guys later. Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
If you hang out, I'll be with you in a moment. But right now, let's play that video we played at the beginning. Thank you for being here for REMG. We appreciate you being here.